Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Surviving Me. I'm your host today. So some pain hard because it comes from someone you never expected it to come from. When a stranger hurts you, it's shocking, but when someone you love, really love, crosses a line you can't come back from, it changes something in your soul. It's like a whole life change. You know, when people be like, oh, I'm going through a midlife crisis. That's kind of how it feels, but with pain. So this episode isn't about blame. It's about betrayal, heartbreak, the shock. It's about the moment you realize the relationship you cherished will never be the same again. And if you know, it hurts. Especially if the relationship was something that you held strong to you and held a lot of value to you. So when something happens, a situation or something happens and they do something to you that make you feel like you know for a fact that relationship will never be the same. Even if y'all still be cool and even if y'all still be talking, you know how close y'all were and everything y'all built before that moment happened, it will never be like that for you ever again. Your relationship will be forever changed. And that's what hurts. So jumping right into segment 1, which is the moment everything changed, the womb. So yesterday I went through something I never imagined I would experience in my life ever. Like the person I looked at as my best friend, the person I always been close to, it was just a situation that happened. It turned into something I never thought it would ever turn into. And honestly, I'm just sitting here and none of it makes sense. We never even had this type of relationship. We were not that type of mother-daughter who argue. None of that. We never did none of that. We weren't toxic. We weren't distant. We were good. That's my girl. Y'all know that. I come on here and say, that's my girl all the time. So that's why it hurts in a way I can't even fully explain. It's one of them situations you just had to go through to understand what I'm talking about. It wasn't just the moment. It was the shock. It was the disbelief. It was the shattering of something I thought was unbreakable. Man, when I say I feel like I feel like my whole world turned upside down in a matter of a day, that is no exaggeration. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say it. I feel so lost. And even out of all the things I went through these past couple months, or these past couple years, honestly, cause these past couple years have been the hardest, I feel like, time of my life. But even then, I never felt lost throughout it all. I still felt grounded. I was just hurt. And now I feel lost. So one way I heal is I have to talk about stuff. I'm not a person that can leave something in and be like, oh, okay, whatever. If I don't talk about it, it's not happening. Or if I don't talk about it, that means it don't hurt. No, I have to speak on it. I have to let it out. I have to address my emotions. I have to acknowledge my emotions, and I have to realize why I'm feeling it. I do all that. That's why when people try to come at me or tell me about myself, it never really hit as deep as it should, because it's whenever I go through something traumatic in my life, I do all the necessary inner work. And what I mean by I do all the necessary inner work is, yeah, it was that situation, but I tie it to far as when I go back and think about all my responses of how that situation played out and how I responded. I think back of why was I responding like that? Or maybe because I felt attacked, or maybe because I felt like the whole house was against me. So that's why I was doing this. And then as I'm trying to explain that to people I feel like was just all hell-bent on trying to attack me. So then I go back, and after everything happened, I go back and analyze all of that. Okay, that's how I was feeling. Okay, so this is what happened, and this is why I said this, and this is why I did this. And then I acknowledge what everybody else was feeling and what they did, but it still be it doesn't matter, because I'm really am a person that no matter how mad I am or how bad the situation is, if you are important in my life, I would never cross a certain barrier. And I feel like it's such a touchy space between when you become an adult and your mother, or when you become an adult and your siblings, because it's like, okay, while I understand that y'all may have raised me or grew me up or whatever like that, at the end of the day, the woman y'all talking to now is an adult. I got a whole kid myself. So regardless if you're my mom or my brother, you're not gonna say anything to me or speak however you want to speak or think I'm supposed to just bow down and listen to you. Like, no, I'm grown at the end of the day. Just like everybody is validated and feeling how they feel, saying what they saying, I am too, regardless of what our relationship is. And I'm a big person as it does not matter what type of relationship we have with each other. Respect should be given regardless of how old you are or what title you have in my life. Respect is given. So like back to what I was saying, that's why I know like me to my core, because I take the time to do all that after every situation, and I assess everything. I even tie it back to my childhood trauma, like, oh, well, why would I feel like that in that moment? Oh, I felt that way because this happened in my childhood that grew this type of attachment thing, and da 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 da. Like, yeah, I get deep like that. But I'm jumping into segment 2, which is the PTSD layer of it. So while everything was happening, something in my body remembered an old wound, like I was saying. And years ago, I got into something with another person who was, supposed to be a important figure in my life, an adult in my life. And I got into something within, and I buried that memory. Somebody I thought would never do something, and it's another family member, but they did. And it kind of mimicked the thing that happened yesterday. So of course any natural person, that will be a PTSD instinct, because it's like, hold the fuck up, like, everybody, this is what y'all do, this is like, hold on, feel like I was in the same situation, I felt the same exact emotions. The only difference was I didn't have a kid then. Now I had a kid, which added an extra layer, because it just does. Like, you just don't want your kids seeing certain things and experiencing certain things or feeling certain ways. So it adds an extra layer, which makes it 10 times worse. But it's still PTSD is PTSD. So like I'm saying, I buried that memory in the past, and I told myself that, that would never happen even though that happened with that one figure, it would never happen with my best friend. Like, like that. She would never do that. And my heart believed that. My body believed it. So when it happened, it wasn't just a new hurt. It was a old wound opening at the same time. Like, if you get what I'm saying. PTSD is crazy, okay? And the fact that the only reason why I'm even coming on here and speaking about it, and as you can tell, even though I am speaking about it, I'm not actually saying exactly what happened, because I'm not doing this to villainize anybody or make anybody be perceived in the light that they're not is. I'm not doing that. This is simply just to acknowledge my feelings and stand on what I feel. Because at the end of the day, people can feel a type of way about what you have to say and what you come on and saying, but can't nobody make you feel unvalidated for your feelings. Like, I'm gonna always stand on how I feel, and I'm gonna speak on what it made me feel, not what happened, but why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. If you get what I mean, you get what I mean. So it's not to villainize anything. It's literally just, this is my podcast. This is the whole point of this podcast. So I can heal, so I can survive me, go get through what I'm going through. And that's what I'm doing. So what happened yesterday. It was a new hurt, and then it also opened up an old one at the same time. And it felt like I'm not safe, not again, not here, not from the person I trusted the most. And that was what hurts the most, honestly. And then we jump into segment 3, which is the loneliness that followed the reckoning. So after everything happened, my world felt upside down. I went numb, but not because, of course, we're weak or because I'm weak. It's just because I genuinely never thought this would happen to me. And I feel like I've been feeling this way this whole year. I've been feeling like I've been going through shit that I thought I would never go through. And it's not even like I thought I would never go through it because, like, oh, I'm just so special. I thought the people that did it to me would never do it to me. So that's what I mean by I thought I would never go through half the shit I went through this year, because I thought the people in my life would never do that to me for me to go through that. And then I feel like that's all I've been doing this whole year, is going through shit that I never expected to happen from people I didn't think would do it. Like, then the loneliness that hit afterwards that's the part that tears you up, and that's honestly tearing me up now. Because remember, it just happened yesterday. Because even though I had people around me in that moment, I feel like, and still, I had no one. Like, I gotta do this shit by myself. I gotta figure it out on my own. Whatever that may entails, wherever this next chapter of my life may look like, at the end of the day, I have to figure it out on my own. I never felt so alone in my life, but Because the person who always been my comfort is the one who hurt me the most. And I can't get past it. Because like I said, I'm not saying everything that happened, but man, and when I sit and think about everything that did happen, I'm analyzing everything like, oh, so this is like, oh, so this is why you did that. Oh, so this is this. And then when you sit back and take all that in and they're supposed to be the person that shit hurt, okay? That shit hurt. I didn't reach out to anyone. Because like I said, I don't want this person to be villainized. And I know they don't know them how I know them. But I know what I feel and I stand on what I feel, like I said. So jumping into segment 4, which is the truth about expectations. When your heart gets shaken like this, your expectation for comfort go up. Oddly, not really that odd. So even if you don't say it out loud, so when someone in my life didn't show up the way I hoped they would in that moment, it was disappointment that followed. Not because they owed me that kind of presence, or not because they didn't care, but because I was hurting so deeply that anything less than full emotional rescue felt like abandonment in that moment. If you get it, you get it. So it wasn't their fault. That was just my wound speaking, and that was me. That was the scared version of me, the one who needed stability, crying out on why I felt like, oh, you know what, I might have just fall back from this person, because when I needed anything, someone in a moment of where my world was falling apart, you was there, but you wasn't there. And then it's like, man, healing is so freaking crazy, because it's like, that's not your man. But that's not like, he don't owe you that. He really don't have to do that. And it's like, I know that. But my body is like, no, girl, I didn't like that shit. We're about to cut him off. And it's like, that's not fair. That's not fair to anyone. That's not fair to him. And it wouldn't be fair to me. But you know what? Because I'm a person who believes in standing on what you feel and standing on how you feel. Like, while it wasn't fair, it's not fair for him. It's not fair that I feel that way. Like, oh, because you didn't do this, I'm cutting you off. And when in reality, they don't even know. Like, you know, like they don't know how deep it may have hurt me, because it's still new. We still just started, and I know that. But I still can't take the feeling like, no, it just wasn't enough. And then it's like, when I say it wasn't enough, it's like, okay, so what was you looking for? And to be honest, I don't even know. I truly don't even know, because I wasn't really looking for anything. I guess I was looking for something, but I wasn't. And the fact that they didn't give it is, I feel like, maybe I thought you would eventually be the safe space, but I don't know. Anyway, jumping into segment 5 is accepting what this moment really means, which is the now. The hardest part of all of this isn't the fight, it's the fact, it's the truth about the relationship. The one I truly cherish, will never be the same again, and that's what hurts me the most. Like, and that doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean healing can't happen. It doesn't mean love is gone, obviously, because love don't turn off that reason. It just means something broke that I didn't know could break. It means trust has to be rebuilt, not assumed. It means I have to sit with a new reality I never asked for. And it means I have to protect my peace, even from people I love. So, if you ever been hurt by someone who you trusted with your whole heart, please hear me. It doesn't mean you're naive. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're stupid for loving them. It means you're human. Healing doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. Healing means telling the truth, feeling the pain, and figuring out how to rebuild yourself in the aftermath. My relationship with my mom will never be what it once was. And maybe that's part of our journey. A painful part, yes, but a necessary one. Because sometimes the person you love the most teaches you the most about choosing yourself. So, if someone listens today and surviving and say, like I did, this is what I want you to remember. Some chapters close without your permission, but the healing afterwards is still yours to write. This is Surviving Me, and right now I'm learning what it means to survive heartbreak, in the sense of that didn't come from the end. I know heartbreak from then. Like, okay, I had my feelings, but this message is different. And just to clarify, everybody think heartbreak only could come from a significant other. That is not true. Your kid could break your heart. Your parents could break your heart. A sibling can break your heart. Heartbreak is heartbreak is heartbreak. It does not matter the relationship. Heartbreak is heartbreak. So, like I always say, no matter what page of feeling you're on, you're not alone and you're not behind. Keep going through it, keep growing through it, and keep glowing through it. And I will see you next episode.
I've battled the silence, I've wrestled the shame, faced all my demons and called